On Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movies, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, man. How we doing?
Doing all right?
Good.
You're welcome, New England. You're welcome, New England. I watched the Patriots game last weekend.
Yeah, yep. You sure did. You sure did. We're gonna do a Teach Ray Sports here in a second. We'll discuss. It is not about the Patriots. We'll discuss them or talk about their season once it's concluded, whenever that is.
Yes, yes. But until
other
then,
stuff happened. But until then,
let's jump into a Teach Ray Sports. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. We needed a theme for Teach Ray Sports. I couldn't think of anything that would be original. I stole this instrumental from the Gary Shanley Show. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports. This is the theme to Teach Ray Sports.
well,
An
Raymond.
impromptu Teach Ray Sports.
Well, Raymond, they done it again. They have struck again, my friend.
Let me guess.
Raining. The raining.
LeBron?
Nope. It's not LeBron. Although that would have been a really fun segment, but I did not have anything prepared for that.
Yeah.
Twitter hates LeBron right now. That's fun stuff.
Yeah, you should.
But they struck again. The reigning, defending World Series champions, Los Angeles Dodgers, have just dished out $240 million over 4 years to Kyle Tucker, the best free agent on the market. Wow. So, Raymond, take a guess as to how much money between 26 active players on the roster they have on the books.
They have two of the highest paid on that team, right?
Correct.
Ohtani and him.
Nope, he's not even up there for most highest paid.
Really?
It's like Ohtani, Mookie Betts, former Red Sox.
Betts, okay.
They both have, I think Ohtani's like 600 and Mookie's like 425 or something. But guess at how much money overall is on their books right now.
Oh God. For just 1 year.
Nope. In contracts they've given out.
Oh, jeez. I have no idea how to, I don't know what everybody else would be at.
$2.1 billion, which is more than $1 billion that I think the Mets are second at just over $1 billion.
Wow.
So there is no salary cap in baseball. So how is this team able to give out this much money when no other team in baseball can come up with the funds? Also, that contract they gave out is for $240, 4 years, $60 million a year. They're already over the luxury tax. They're in the third tier because of how much money they've spent. So they'll be paying over $100 million a year for this one player, even though he only gets $60 million of it. Anyways.
Holy shit.
Let me take you back to 2004. The Dodgers were sold to this family, this husband and wife. Well, they ran the Dodgers pretty much into bankruptcy. There was a bunch of scandals, cheating, this, that, and the other. They decided to get a divorce, and they each basically own half the team. She basically has all the money. He is so in debt, he is taking money from the team to pay for his lifestyle, which obviously you can't do because there's investors and all that other stuff.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
So Major League Baseball steps in because he wants to get a TV deal because his TV deal is coming up, right? So he wants to get a new TV deal to get himself some money to pay for his divorce. MLB says, you can't do that. Everything's going to bankruptcy court. That means lawyers can look into MLB finances, all this stuff. MLB wants to avoid that. They also know that they need a new TV deal before the new owners come in that can set them up to prosper with the TV deal, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that need to be done before the team can be sold. Anyways, so they went to the court with future projections because that's usually how a TV deal is done, but it's usually not done through court. It's usually done through MLB. MLB likes to control the situation, the narrative. They could not do it in this case. So the court, who doesn't like the future projections, says we're going to look at the past. We're going to look at the past, okay? Dodgers in 2010 sucked. Nobody watched them.
Right.
So they said $84 million a year is what you're going to have to use because everyone's TV contract is divvied up to all the smaller market teams. So they say $84 million a year. That's what's going to be divvied up to all the smaller teams. That's what we're going to say your TV deal is basically worth. Well, spoiler, twist, Dodgers got sold. Dodgers got good. Dodgers make $200 million a year now off their TV deal, but only $84 million of that gets distributed to the other teams. So they basically get a free $120 million a year.
Wow.
So essentially that's going to pay for the contract they just handed out. Or they can divvy it up and it takes money off all the other contracts.
Why are there no limits here? Why is this? Why, like you said, there's no limits to spending. Why?
There isn't a salary cap in baseball because there's the players union will never ever go for that. And in fact, this might cause another strike after this coming season. It's too late to strike now, but I would not be surprised if we get a strike in 2027.
Jesus.
So yeah, because of that, they did the luxury tax thing. So I can't remember exactly what they are, but I think the first apron might be like 190 million. And then like it's like 230 and then like 290. Like if your total payroll goes above that, you go into each tier extra. Which some of that gets distributed among the smaller teams too, along with the TV deal and licensing and all that stuff, jersey sales. So yeah, they basically get $120 million free every year. And that's probably going to go up. And oh yeah, by the way, this TV deal that was signed in like 2011 runs out in 2038. They can do this for another 12 years.
Is a local TV deal through like somewhere in California?
Yes,
okay.
It's the local affiliation, like we have NESN.
Right, yeah.
Plus, they get money from when they're on ESPN, since they're on ESPN a lot.
Jesus.
Yeah, all of this is stuff I've been wondering about. And finally, KFC from Barstool, you can go check out his Twitter. It's a 3-minute video. That's basically where I got all this information, so you can fact check there. I literally saw it and then texted you right away, like, we need to do a Teach Ray Sports because I just learned some shit. Because I've been trying to figure this out for like the last 2 years. Because they're paying Shohei Ohtani $2 million a year. When he retires after his contract, he's making $60 million a year in deferred payments.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
The third one is there's another Japanese pitcher that they signed for like $450 before last offseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yep.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to be handling. Damn.
Yeah.
But all the good baseball, all the good behind the scenes baseball movies, like Moneyball, all has to do with money.
Oh yeah,
that's where the spending is for. That's crazy.
He's making more than, I believe, 60 million is like more than like 2 or 3 teams' payrolls. Like I don't think the Marlins payroll is even 60 million yet. It's crazy, and the Red Sox still haven't spent a goddamn dime in free agency.
Yeah, how are the Red Sox going into?
Let's not talk about
the new year. Okay, we'll go into that.
They lost their like clubhouse leader, which I mean, I guess whatever. He was injured a lot, so it is what it is. They could surprise. They just haven't spent any money this offseason, which is kind of unfortunate because there were a couple free agents they were in on, but they locked in on guys that signed elsewhere. So Bo Bichette just signed with the Mets today. That was another guy they were talking about.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, we'll get into another Teach Ray Sports probably in a few weeks with the Patriots.
Got to talk LeBron at some point, and
LeBron. Yeah, there's a lot of LeBron stuff that broke this week we don't want to
Yeah.
get into yet. But let's talk about what we watched this week. I watched quite a few
Sucks.
movies just because we are at the end of
Mhm.
the month. New TV shows are starting, so we're going to be busy with that.
Mhm.
So I watched some movies. We'll talk about that. But first, Fallout Episode 5. The show is really good. We've got a mystery in this show, which I like. Slides that. Basically, who set off the bomb? Who set off the bombs to make this whole post-apocalyptic world happen? And that's where the rest of the season is probably going to be tackling. Maybe another season, I don't know. But Walter Goggins great in this show. It's on Amazon Prime if anybody wants to watch along. I think 3 episodes. I don't know if there's 8 or 9 episodes of the season.
There's 3 left. So
Okay,
8
3
episodes
more.
left.
3
But yeah,
more.
this season's been really good. Not nearly as good as the first season. I also think
No.
the first season caught everyone by surprise, especially me and you who hadn't played the games really. And it also, for the people that played the games, meant they went over and above and beyond what they had to satisfy them as game players. This season's just been really solid. Expectations, of course, were much higher because of how they hit a home run with the first season. And like I said, I think a lot of people were caught by surprise by how damn good it was.
The other thing that you mentioned last week or the week before, the other big difference this season is everything's being released weekly. And the last time we watched it all within one weekend, so it was all one continuous story. Now it's a week-to-week viewing, which does sometimes hurt the viewing of a show like this.
Yeah, it depends on the show.
It depends on the show, yeah.
I do wish they did what they do with The Boys, where they did like 3 in one day and then weekly.
Right.
That's still my favorite model for distributing on streaming. 2 or 3 and then release the rest weekly.
It's almost like watching a movie. Like you're watching a movie for the premiere, and then the rest of it's just a week-to-week continuation. I like that too.
Yeah.
But I did watch. I started to watch Better Call Saul, and I'm going to try to watch a season a week. I know, like I mentioned, we're getting into some other TV shows, so might slow down a little bit. But season 3, we're going to revisit that. Not sure when this show was. I don't know the timeline. Was this like 2015 to 2010, 2020, 2021, something like that?
It was 2016 to like 20. It might have been like, wait, I'm on season 5. There was a long time between season 5 and 6 because he had the heart attack and COVID and all that stuff.
Right. I forgot he had that. Yeah, that's right.
So it might have been like 16 to 24 or 23.
Okay.
I think 23 is when it went off the air, I think.
Okay. But the show up until this point has been Jimmy, who is Saul, against his brother Chuck.
Yep.
Who was played by Michael McKean.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned last week that they're going to court and they're going to be fighting each other in court. And Jimmy takes everything that he has to defend himself against his brother, who is a known lawyer who is very prominent in Albuquerque. He's a shark. And he tries to destroy Jimmy. And Jimmy somehow, some way, gets out from underneath him and wins. It not necessarily wins, I would say, but destroys his brother's life.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point where his brother gets very depressed, very, very closed off. He's already closed off already because he's got this disease. It's obviously a mental issue, and that was proven in court that electricity bothers him.
And also
magnetic forces.
Yes. Okay, sorry, continue.
And at the end of the episode, at the end of the season, Jimmy's brother Chuck locks himself into his house, and his house, it's all completely pitch black. At one point in the season, he turns his lights back on. So he's already kind of figuring out, I'm getting a little bit better. Maybe I'm healing from this. And then he starts to slowly realize that he's mentally ill. There's some problem here. And as proud as he is as a person, he's always thinking it's an illness, like an actual illness. When it comes down to a mental illness, he takes his whole entire life into perspective. Being a lawyer, being a smart person, and wondering, am I mentally wrong? To the point where he has a downward spiral, really bad one. Locks himself into his house. His house is full of books. He reads a lot because he doesn't have the internet. He didn't have electricity up until the beginning of this season. And he starts to he just sits in his room. And I don't remember if he put kerosene down or whatever. No, he had that lantern.
It was exactly what Jimmy described in court,
Yep.
where he has the lamps on top of stacks of newspapers.
Yeah.
And it basically falls over.
Well, he kicks it. He kicks
yes,
it.
he
over.
kicks it. That's right. Yep.
Yep. He kicks it over and he ends up killing himself, burning the whole entire place down to the ground. Crazy that's how that happened. I did go ahead and watch the first episode of the next season because I wanted to see what I wanted to see what happened, and he did die. But yeah, it's a crazy show. Not anything like Breaking Bad, like you've mentioned before. It's very much a lawyer
similar now, but yes,
right. And we're starting. we got Gus. We got Mike from the very beginning.
Yep.
We got Gus Fring now. We got the whole entire other crew with the guy in the wheelchair.
You've got my man Nacho.
Nacho, yeah,
poor bastard. I love Nacho. He's one of my favorite characters in the Breaking Bad universe. I think after you're done with this, we should rank maybe our top 5 in the Breaking Bad universe characters. I already have mine because it's easy for me.
I know my favorite shot. I can't wait to talk about it and show it. I may show it on here. My favorite shot from the whole entire Breaking Bad series is still in my mind to this day. I don't want to talk about it now. I want to have the visuals of it. But it's the same. Actually, I'll talk about it. It's the same exact shot that the Crow has and the Dark Knight has, where the Joker, he walks out of the door backwards and he's holding the bombs. And he walks out and the door shuts up behind him. Walter White does that in one of the episodes too. I think against Taco, or what's his name?
It's in the first season. It's when he goes to get some money after Jesse gets the shit kicked out of him by
it walks out. He walks. Yeah, Tuco. He walks out of the door backwards, the same exact way of the Dark Knight and Heath Ledger. Same exact way the Crow does it too in that movie.
Yeah. The show is shot.
It's an amazing shot.
They both are. I was going to talk about my favorite shot from this season 3 of Saul. It's a very basic thing, but they're in the courtroom that you were just discussing, and he's talking about how the exit signs don't give off enough power and they're far away to disturb. They won't disturb them. Fun fact: exit signs give off a lot of electricity. A lot of electromagnet. And so at the end of that episode, they pan up to the exit sign, and it's like behind the exit sign, all you hear is the crackling of the electricity.
Yeah,
love that shot. There's some shots in season 4 and 5 that are also really good.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm in the middle of season 5 right now, and it's getting real good.
Yep, like I said, it may be a little slow getting, just because I know February and the end of the month we're getting into some good shows coming out. So I'm gonna try to continue watching it though. I'm not gonna take a year off like I did before. Yep. But yeah, so far so good. Watch the documentary. I told you to watch it too.
Fantastic.
This is a fantastic documentary. It's called "I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not." This is on CNN exclusively.
By the way, are they just doing documentaries about they're like, hey, Ray Hoyt, he likes this comedian from the 80s. Let's do a documentary about him for Ray. Because every single documentary like this has come out in the last 2 years has been aimed at you. I feel
it has been.
I'm not the biggest Chevy Chase fan. I like him a lot. Obviously, he's in my favorite Christmas movie, but
I love the vacation movies. The vacation movies,
those movies, and Groundhog's Day were big to me. But watching this, I realized I have not seen a lot of his movies. No, I just haven't seen them.
You've seen Caddyshack though, right?
Yes, I've seen the classics, but there's been I don't think I've seen Fletch, or if I did, I was young.
I just watched that within the last 10 years.
Okay,
so I'm in the same boat. Vacation movies were superior to everything else,
especially Christmas. European's just okay. The original one is very good too.
The original one's very good.
Vegas kind of sucks.
When he drives into, I believe it's St. Louis, and he goes and talks to a crowd of let's just say gangbangers, and he's asking them for directions, and the next thing you know, his car's up on blocks. They take his wheels. I mean, that's great. Started off his career, he was in college with Steely Dan. He was the drummer for the band before they became big. He dropped out of the band to pursue comedy, and they went off to be Steely Dan and doing all the songs and all. I
wonder if that's where Hulk Hogan took his Metallica story from.
Interesting, it reminded me a lot of that too. Yeah,
except this is real.
He started writing. He went to National Lampoon. I believe that's at Harvard. I believe so. Harvard Lampoon, yeah. And he met John Belushi there. And John Belushi and him, they had a comedy troupe. Lorne Michaels wanted to come together and put this new, Well, number one, they were musically talented. He could play a lot of instruments, and John Belushi can sing very well, and he can mimic a lot of people. The big one was Joe Cocker. He did that on SNL. He did it with this comedy troupe they had on National Lampoons. Lorne Michaels, creating SNL, sees this group and hires them and become the first season of Saturday Night Live. Cast them, and you know the story. We talk about it all the time. He starts Weekend Update with his comedy styling, his dry humor, very dry humor, which can turn a lot of people off. And I mentioned to you off the pod, I think the reason that people think he's an asshole is, and I'm going to get into this a little bit further after we talk about his documentary, but he's got a very dry sense of humor that it can hit you hard if you're not prepared for it. And it's also a timely humor where that was great 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Does not work in this environment anymore. Especially when it comes down to Community, which we'll get into in a minute. But
oh boy, that was a great part of the documentary.
Yeah. He ends up, there's a very quick scene. There's a Richard Pryor bit. I remember seeing this years ago, where they basically call each other the worst names, racial names you can call a white person and a black person. Ends with him saying the N-word. He's very proud of that skit. And I could see, being in the 70s, he wrote that with Richard Pryor, so he kind of gets the pat on the back for that too. But looking back at it now, you're like, well, that's really racy. That's really really bad. Caddyshack. I was never huge into Caddyshack. Another one of those things I think I watched in the last 15, 20 years.
Yep. I saw it once growing up.
Yeah. I don't think I ever watched it growing up, like really sat down and watched it. But my favorite thing from him, like I mentioned, was the Vacation franchise, starting with the first one, National Lampoon's Vacation. European Vacation was great. Christmas Vacation, like you said, Christmas classic. Even Vegas Vacation, even his cameo in the Vacation reboot.
Vegas was just okay, but that was the first one I saw in theater, so it was cool.
His style of comedy works in those movies, where it's dry. He doesn't really tell jokes. He just says something funny, unintentionally funny. Norm Macdonald did that. Ryan Reynolds does that now. We'll get into that in a minute. Fletch, like you mentioned, Three Amigos, one of the greatest comedy trios of all time. Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Chevy Chase. Great movie. He was on so much cocaine, and they talked about it a lot. His drug downfall and how his comedy has kind of failed because of that. He had a Fox talk show in the middle of the 90s, which was
that looked rough.
Most notably known for being bad, and I've known that for a while. Right. But the big thing that this documentary tackled at the end was reinvigorating his career in the late 2000s with the Community show with Joe McHale and all of them. And he had a huge falling out. Everybody knows about it if you're tuned into Hollywood, but he had a huge falling out with the entire cast of Community, just because they thought he was talking like racist and sexist. But that's just the way his dry humor is, and that does not work in a environment like the Me Too movement happened a few years later. Does not work in that environment anymore. He's not. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't. He's almost like autistic in the way he, if you had to compare it to something, in the way his comedy works.
Yeah.
But he had a huge backlash, and I think the documentary happened because of that. And he invited the crew in, kind of to clear his name a little bit. A lot of the stuff in the documentary, like the clip that they showed before that we watched the documentary of him kind of chastising the director of the documentary, asking and calling her an idiot. That's like his type of humor. Like if you put yourself back, watch that from a comedian standpoint, that's what he's trying to get off. Like I mentioned with Ryan Reynolds, I did not realize he was actually part of this documentary. Chevy Chase walked so Ryan Reynolds could run. I mean, they're basically the same exact dry humor. In fact, you go back to behind the scenes of Hollywood, there are a lot of asshole stories with Ryan Reynolds where people say he's an asshole for the same exact dry humor. This documentary was great. Again, it's on CNN. You can't watch it anywhere else. You have to get this new CNN app, which they have all new documentaries and a whole bunch of other shit. And you can get CNN News on there. Pay $4.99 a month, I think. I have no idea. I didn't pay for it. Oops. But it's very good documentary. Worth it if you want to pay for it. If you have other ways of finding it, find it. But definitely good. And I'm not defending Chevy Chase, but I understand his comedy more now watching it.
I think the SNL movie that came out did a perfect representation of what it was like working with Chevy Chase backstage.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think they, especially after watching this documentary, I didn't know a lot about that stuff before. I just knew he was known as an asshole. But yeah, I think they did a great job in that movie displaying what he was like behind the scenes.
Yeah, and he didn't last one season. He got in a big, huge fist fight with Bill Murray at the end of that season. He didn't come back for the second season. But yeah, so that was a great documentary. We teased last week we're going to get into a movie review. We're not going to talk about it too much. We talked about it a lot last week, but did watch the movie Tiptoes. Did you have a chance to watch this movie?
I did not.
That's fine. You did not miss much. It's bad. It's pretty much exactly what I said it was going to be. They made it. I think whoever edited this movie made it sound like it was going to be a Oscar movie. It was going. There was no humor in it. There's nothing funny. Just the acting was bad and everything. It's just a bad movie all around. And all the actors buried this movie. In fact, Matthew McConaughey won't even talk about it anymore. Just because of how bad. Yep. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. But yeah, bad movie. Understandably, I mean, fucking Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime, my ass. But yeah. Going into better movies, I did watch some older movies, some newer movies. The first older movie I watched, and one I've been holding off for a while, was on sale on iTunes this week. I watched the last Hunger Games movie, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The Hunger Games. You ever watch the one with Jennifer Lawrence, the whole run there? You ever watch any of those You haven't watched any?
I have not. No.
They're good. They're good movies. I mean, you already know the concept of it. It's where a post-apocalyptic world where there's 12 districts in this world called Panem, which is basically America 300 years from now. And the whole entire America has gone to war with each other, and this government has come together and put them into these sanctuary cities in 12 districts. And every year they have a Hunger Games where they get one boy and one girl from each district to join this game at the end of the year. And whoever wins is the victor and gets all the rewards and becomes pretty much a celebrity for the rest of their life. And this is the 10th Hunger Games. I think the one that Jennifer Lawrence was may have been the 75th or something like that. So this is going way back.
I thought you meant this is the 10th movie. I was like, wait, what?
No. This is the 10th Hunger Games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it goes way back in a prequel, kind of closer to when this all started.
Yep.
Get a little bit of history of that and who starts it and all that. But overall, decent movie. A little bit of history I did not expect to get from the Hunger Games series. The series itself falls off a little bit towards the end. The first couple of movies are really good. Lenny Kravitz is great in it. And of course, Jennifer Lawrence got her start as a popular actress because of these series of movies. Woody Harrelson is also great in these. The first couple, I think he may have been in all of them. Philip Seymour Hoffman. His final movie is one of these Hunger Game movies, but worth getting into. One of those young adult series that's definitely worth getting into. They did conclude the story, so if you want a conclusion of the story, some of these young adult movies don't ever make the final couple of books, but this one did. And there's a new one coming out in November. I think it's the 50th Hunger Games. It's closer to the Jennifer Lawrence ones, and that's where you get a younger version of Woody Harrelson, younger version of Philip Seymour Hoffman, and a few other people. And I believe there's going to be flashbacks with Katniss, who is Jennifer Lawrence's character, and Josh Hutcherson, who plays her other tribute from that district. But overall, great series. This movie is really good. Probably 4 out of 5 for me. And I cannot wait to see what they do with the next one. It comes out in November. But some brand new movies. I told you about this. I don't know if you've had time to watch any of these.
Random as hell when you told me about it.
I started seeing it show up on Twitter on Monday or Tuesday, and I said, "What the fuck is this, Dust Bunny?" Because I saw Mads Mikkelsen.
Right.
You see Mads Mikkelsen, you realize like he's a big fucking, and then you see Sigourney Weaver. Like,
yep.
What is this movie? Where did this come from? Called Dust Bunny. Came out, I believe, the end of last year, December 2025. And it's about this guy who's an assassin. He lives in this apartment building, and there's this little girl who lives with this adoptive couple. And she starts to see monsters under her bed. This little dust bunny goes under her bed, and she thinks it's a monster. Don't want to get into the spoilers. I really do want you to watch this movie because it's very good. And David Dastmalchian's in this too. It's just a great cast overall, great story. Reminds me of like Neverending Story meets like John Wick. There's a lot of weird like it's just weird. And Mads Mikkelsen, like I said, he plays an assassin. It's really cool scenes with him fighting in it. Yeah, it's very, very good. Dust Bunny.
Nice.
4 out of 5. Very, very good. Another movie. Brendan Fraser accolades for this. Rental Family. You heard of this movie?
No.
I'm sure you've heard of this. You haven't heard of this. It's getting a lot of accolades right now. I don't know if it'll be Oscar-worthy praise, but it's a Fox Searchlight movie set in Japan, created by a Japanese artist, director, and all that. But stars Brendan Fraser as a guy who moves over to Japan. He's over there as an actor. He gets stuck over there doing acting work, and he's trying to find money. And he finds this group that hire people to become like rental family. They rent him for a day to do something. Like, oh, you can come to my family, marry me, do a fake wedding just to prove to my family that I'm marrying a guy. And a little bit of a spoiler: this woman hires him to be a husband. They have a fake ceremony, and at the end, you find out that she's a lesbian. And in Japan, they have a lot of different culture, way different culture than we do, and that's frowned upon over there. So her family sees him marrying her, gets off of her back, and she goes and lives the rest of her life with her girlfriend. Stuff like that. And it also hires him to be a family to this little girl so she can help her get into school, so on and so forth. This is a great, great movie. 4.5 out of 5. And I could see this getting some accolades in Hollywood. I hope the Oscars pick this up somewhere. But Brendan Fraser, I'm just glad he's acting again because he was out of it for what, 15, 20 years?
Feels like it, yeah.
And then he came back with The Whale, came back with this. It was going to be the Batgirl movie that failed, of course. But yeah, great movie all in all. 4.5 out of 5. Definitely worth watching. Another movie in the Oscar contention. Hugh Jackman, Kate Hudson, Song Sung Blue. This is the Neil Diamond movie we talked about a little while ago. Came out at Christmas time. It's about this Neil Diamond impersonator from like the 1980s and 90s who meets this woman that it's about their love story. And there's a lot of weird, cool twists in this movie about their love story. 4.5 out of 4. No, I'll say 4 out of 5. Kate Hudson. I loved her way back in Almost Famous. Still great looking. Still great. Still a great actress. Great chemistry with Hugh Jackman. Amazing chemistry. And she has a great story to tell in this movie. There's a lot of Oscar buzz around her performance. I could see that. Movie is very, very good. It just came out this week on digital. If anybody wants to watch it, Song Sung Blue. If you like Neil Diamond, it reminded me a lot of Saving Silverman. You ever watch that movie? That's like a Neil Diamond experience in itself too. But
Steve Zahn, Jack Black.
Yeah, great movie. Yeah, this is a good movie. Very good. I watched a documentary that was all about this too. It came out, I believe, in 2008. I watched that right after I watched the movie. So, yeah, true story too. Yeah, great movie. Did you watch anything? I didn't put anything else in the notes.
Nah, I just been doing it all pretty much.
Yep, doing it all. Yep. So, with that being said, let's get into the news. And it's not a new news time. I love the trailer on it. I got some trailers to watch, talk about. The remake of The Burbs with Keke Palmer. This came out later. This came out later on in the week last week.
Yeah, why are we doing this?
It looks horrible. This comes out February 8th on Peacock.
What are we doing here? What are we doing? You fucking get rid of the Ryan Johnson show to do this shit? Come on now.
It's a retelling of the movie with Tom Hanks.
Which is a fantastic movie, but I mean, come on. What are we doing?
This looks bad. Rehashing. This looks great. The Mummy. Lee Cronin's The Mummy comes out on April 17th. set in a more modern day Mummy. I was not expecting that, but the tagline of the trailer was "What happened to Katie?" And from everything I gather, Katie is a young girl who suddenly reappears to her family after disappearing in the desert 8 years prior.
Oh, interesting.
But the reunion turns night, so it's more of a modern day Mummy movie rather than having the old ancient Mummy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. 1 part Poltergeist, 1 part Seven is what the director Lee Cronin says. So that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a brand new trailer for Monarch: Legacy of Monsters season 2. Right? I think I never watched this show, so I don't know.
Yeah. I'm also with the Americanized Godzilla. Just give me more of that fucking.
We were turned
-1.
Yeah. We were turned off because -1 came out the same exact time as the last Godzilla versus Kong movie. And I didn't even watch that movie. Yeah.
Imagine that you actually have a story that makes people invested as opposed to just, ooh, look, monster. And it's a really good fucking movie.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. I have heard another though, so it's probably pretty good.
I have too. I've heard it visually. I mean, Apple's in charge of it, so they got the money.
Yeah.
Another Beatles documentary, this time about Paul McCartney leaving the Beatles, called Man on the Run. Him joining Wings, him doing the Band on the Run record. Looks very good. Comes out on Prime on February 27th. I will be watching that, and we'll talk about it then. What we got now? And Euphoria, season 3.
Lazy. This shit looks ass. As Joe Budden would say, 2 packs of ass.
Speaking of ass, there's Sydney Sweeney's ass wiggling her tail, so that was great in the trailer. But overall,
let's make her an OnlyFans model. That's fucking great writing. That is fucking knocked it out of the park on that one.
Half the cast left. Half, like, her sister's not there. Her mother, Rue's sister, Rue's mother's not there anymore.
The only reason why I kept watching is because
the best part of that show.
And the best part of the show. Ash and Fez were the best. Yeah.
Ash is going too. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I'll watch it just because I watched it last year. I'm excited to see the continuation 5 years later, see how they'll tell that story. But even what's his name, Jacob Elordi's father, he has like MS now. So is he going to be in a wheelchair in this series? Who knows? But got a brand new trailer for Scream 7. Poster looks really cool. Comes out on February 27th. And they're going, as far as we know, they're going back to the well with a lot of the prior Screams. There are going to be flashbacks to the old actors because they mentioned them part of the cast a while ago. But Sydney's back, so that's good. The whole entire reboot, the whole cast pretty much is gone. What's her name? That was a star of the last two.
Cuba Gooding's son is still there, and the chick that plays his sister.
Yeah, she's still there, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I love the first Scream. That's about where I end on those. They're okay.
I like them all.
They're not my favorite. 3 is bad. I saw 3 in the theater. Yeah, that's horrible. This, I was surprised I liked the trailer, but the Bride movie,
done by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I can't wait.
Oh, the trailer looks really good.
I know. I've heard.
Comes out March 6th. And now I understand why she made the movie. It looks really good. Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster reminded me a lot of Creature Commandos. It did because of everything that happens in that movie. But Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal's in this as well. Maggie Gyllenhaal directed it. It just looks really, really good. It's going to be one of those movies that people are going to be talking about. So it's on our radar. The rise and the fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins. We got the first trailer today, starring Tracy Morgan and Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter himself, set more like Parks and Rec, where it's a mockumentary style documentary. It's gonna be on Peacock. I believe I think the pilot episode airs this weekend after one of the football games that's on NBC, and then the actual show premieres on February 23rd. But the trailer that came out today looks very funny. Like I mentioned, mockumentary style, like The Office, like Parks and Rec. And it's done by the crew that did 30 Rock. So yeah, I cannot wait. So we'll have to wait and see. And we got the first trailer for the second season of Ted.
This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, March is gonna be fun for us. March is gonna be really fun.
I'll be on vacation.
Yeah, March 5th, new season. Trailer looked hilarious. The show is. I'm gonna go back and watch the first season before we get into.
I've seen the first. How many times have you seen the first season?
Just the first time.
Oh wow! I think I've seen the first season at least 3 times because we watched it when it came out, Then I watched it again over Christmas that year. And then when I went to Florida, because Vic hadn't seen it yet, and they loved it too. So
it's hilarious.
And so I've probably seen random episodes also just thrown in, but I love that show
if you love those movies, if you love Family Guy, if you love that style of comedy, Ted, the series, picks up right where the movies left off. Definitely worth getting into. This is going to be on Peacock the whole entire season. I'm not sure if it's dropping at once like it did the first season or not. But yeah, I cannot wait. Comes out March 5th. Weekend box office last week, Avatar Fire and Ash for the fourth week, $21.3 million for number one. Opening up last week, Primate. This is the horror movie about the monkey that goes ballistic because he has rabies. Second place, so $11.3 million. And The Housemaid, $11.2 million for number three. Cannot wait to see that when it comes out at the end of the month, the beginning of next month. With Fire and Ash, Zoe Saldana has officially become the top grossing actor of all time, male and female. Scarlett Johansson had that just because of the amount of the franchises that she's done.
And the back pay on all those is probably pretty huge. I'm pretty sure the Guardians movies were probably a back end deal because they were unknown characters.
Well,
and
Avatar
definitely was.
Avengers includes Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame included in there.
Yep.
Guardians movies, like you said, I mean, she's got huge, and even the Star Trek movies. You forgot about Star Trek too. So yeah. Rest in peace to T.K. Carter. You may not know the name, but if you were around in the 80s, 90s, very familiar face. He was on Punky Brewster. He was on The Cosby Show. I never watched The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. He's a part of that too. Yeah, it's definitely on the list to watch. But rest in peace to him. Speaking of 80s, Home Alone star Daniel Stern citing for soliciting prostitution. Just going to let that sit there and marinate for a minute. The Wet Bandits, there's jokes aplenty there. We'll leave it at that. Also, I never watched West Wing, but I did watch Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Timothy Busfield.
That's where he's from. Revenge of the Nerds.
He played Poindexter.
I've never seen West Wing either. I just know the Dule Hills.
Yeah, I didn't either. But he's been in everything. He's been in everything. He's been in movies. He's been in a whole bunch of shit. I have no idea
what his name was, but he's definitely a familiar face.
But that's him from Revenge of the Nerds as Poindexter. Very different look. But he's facing child sex abuse charges. Denying it completely.
You don't want to go down that path if you're famous. I'm just throwing that out there.
If
you're not famous, you probably shouldn't go down that path. Just don't go down that path. Just don't do it.
No. He went missing for like 4 days this week, and there's a manhunt for him. Turns out he was driving from New York to Albuquerque, where his warrant was issued. And he did turn himself in later in the week. And he was in the orange jumpsuit and everything, and he vehemently denied everything, all the charges.
That's a tough word.
I'm not even going to try it because I have a cold. But yeah, he's facing some really harsh accusations that's probably going to destroy his career, whether he's innocent or not. Once you have that stain on your career, you're pretty much done.
Yeah, Spacey wasn't Spacey like pretty much let off, and people still won't hire him for shit.
Yeah, he was completely the court completely denied anything happened.
Yeah.
As far as they know, there was no evidence saying that he did anything. Still looked at as a pedophile. Still looked at as a predator.
Mm-hmm.
And he still can't become like the actor that he was back in the 2000s, 90s. So yeah. Timothy Busfield currently in prison right now. Poindexter. I guess there won't be a fifth Revenge of the Nerds movie. That sucks. Paramount, Warner Brothers. So much shit still happening with that.
She's not gonna fuck you, bro. Give up.
I don't know about you, but I'm so turned off by Paramount with this. It seems like
especially with the more news
of Hollywood.
Especially with the more news coming out about what Netflix is going to do with Warner Brothers once they acquire it.
Right.
I was a team Paramount. That was before I even knew Netflix was involved.
Right.
I think it was like Paramount and one other company or whatever. Was it Comcast? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was Comcast.
But yeah, I was Paramount because of how it seemed like the Ellisons really did want to focus on the future of the movie industry, the theaters and all that stuff. But this is just getting out of fucking hand. It's ridiculous.
Paramount this week sued Warner Brothers over the next Netflix deal, demanding the financial info of the deal. Went to the court, and the judge ruled that they rejected it in motion to expedite the lawsuit because the ruling failed to display how it would suffer irreparable harm, Paramount, by this alleged disclosure and all this stuff. So in other words, they're whining to try to slow it down, and the judge is like, "What the fuck are you doing? There's nothing here that's going to deter you. There's nothing here that's going to fuck with you. This is a deal between Netflix and Warner Brothers." They're just pissed off because they lost the bid, and they had the president in the back pocket. They still do. But yeah,
the president's son was one of the biggest investors in that deal.
He dropped out. Yep. Yeah, he dropped out immediately. David Ellison has been meeting with European political figures to try to block it over there too, to get it approved in the EU.
Jesus Christ!
And Trump
that's Ray dying.
Yes, I'm dying. Trump still indicates he's really not into the Netflix buying Warner Brothers deal. Wants to stop the streamer's so-called cultural takeover. Ted Sarandos responded to that today, saying he doesn't know where that comes from. He's talked to Trump multiple times, but and that's where you mentioned the 45-day window that Netflix has now, wants to do now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like Trump is senile or anything either. You know, just looking out windows at weird shit.
Oh, that's the weirdest fucking video. And the best video, the best parody of that video is when he's looking out the window, he's showing what the new ballroom is going to look like.
Yep.
And the show Heated Rivalry, which we haven't talked about, is a gay hockey movie, a gay show. And he's like, "Oh, look at that! Look at this window, everybody!" And there's two guys from Heated Rivalry having gay sex on the other side of the window.
Yes.
And he's watching them. It's a great video, but yeah. So that's the Netflix deal. There's gonna be a lot of hurdles there. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be a back.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
Yep. The Golden Globes happened. Well, it happened last weekend. Next week we're getting the Academy Award nominations. So this was the Golden Globes, hosted by Nikki Glaser. I think she did a great job from what I saw. Winners of the night: One Battle After Another won 4 awards. K-pop Demon Hunter won 2. Let's get into the winners of the night. Hamnet was best Golden Globe for the best drama. One Battle After Another won for best picture musical comedy, best director, and best screenplay and supporting actress in Tiana Taylor. Sinners won 2 awards, best cinematic and box office achievement. When I knew they won that, I knew they weren't going to win best drama. And the best original score. The score in that movie was amazing. I'm glad they won that at least. Timothée Chalamet won for best actor. Won for Marty Supreme. Ray Seahorn won her first ever Golden Globe for Pluribus. Love that. Seth Rogen won for not only the studio won all of the awards for Golden Globes, Emmys, and Critics' Choice, took them all, but he also swept all the awards for best comedy series, I believe for best actor in a comedy series in Golden Globes, Emmys, and Critics' Choice as well. So yeah, studio, love that show. Cannot wait for a second season. I knew it was going to be a Hollywood, when we said it when we watched it, Hollywood was going to love that come award season, and they did. So yeah, Seth Rogen getting a lot of praise for that. And we'll talk about the Academy Awards nominations next week, but you kind of hinted to it earlier. Matthew McConaughey trademarked the all right IP. Against pretty much going against AI. He wanted to get ahead of it because he wants to trademark any of his likeness, his sayings, and all that stuff to get away from, if it's misuse in AI, that he can go back and sue the fuck out of him, and that's exactly what he did. He put his protections in there. So yeah. I know you watched Sons of Anarchy,
and this is my favorite character from that show.
Okay, it is. Okay, I've never seen him before.
Ryan Hurst. He is, of course, cast as Kratos. I just took that news right out of your mouth there. But for the God of War Amazon series, you've never seen Sons of Anarchy?
I have not. No,
but the way his character goes out still gives me nightmares.
Okay.
There's a certain sound. It's one of those things where like you hear a sound and it just gives you like shivers. He is fucking amazing in that show. He's like the heart of that show, and everything goes off the rails after he leaves the show because he's getting other roles at that point. He was also awesome on The Walking Dead as Beta. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. I love this casting to death. And yeah, I can't wait. I should probably play those games now. I have the fourth one, I believe, on PS4. So
Was it Ragnarok? I know they retold the Thor
yeah,
story.
I think so. Yeah, I think 4 was Ragnarok. Then there was a 5th after that, I think.
Also joining the cast, Teresa Palmer, who's been in a lot of shows, a lot of movies. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I've seen her in a ton of shit. But she's joining the cast as Lady Sif from the Thor universe, whatever you want to call it, multiverse. Yeah, God of War, excited for that. I thought this looks great. A lot of the internet is shitting on it, but we got the very first look at Sophie Turner as Lara Croft. Is it because her boobs aren't big and Lara Croft in the games has big boobs? Is that why everybody's turned on her for being Lara Croft? I didn't really see.
No. All I know is I really like redheads, and we'll leave it at that. She looks stunning. In this photo.
I think she looks great.
I don't think she's a very good actress. That's where I would have an issue.
No.
But we'll see with the show. At least she wasn't a very good Jean Grey. She was a very good Sansa. After reading the books, I know exactly why she was cast, but she wasn't a very good actress when she was younger, but she did get better as Sansa as the show went on. But I don't know why people are hating on it. I mean, they're over 2 right now on Tomb Raider movies, so I hope they do a good job with this show.
Yep. Yeah, me too. And I like the Angelina Jolie ones. I like the sci-fi kind of aspect to it.
In general, they're just not fair. Like the fans of the games don't like those movies for certain reasons because they're fans of the games.
That's the first movie I ever saw Daniel Craig in. I think it was in the first one. I think the first.
Holy shit, he was! Wow,
the first time I ever saw him.
All right.
You got a brand new poster for Scrubs coming back next month, February 25th. A couple of new teasers showed up too, but nothing worth talking about. Hans Zimmer going to compose the Harry Potter HBO series. Original score of that.
Like I said on Facebook, I said, imagine replacing John Williams twice in your career in like a span of 15 years. Like that's insane. Probably the best current composer in Hollywood. I would say I'd put him up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very good news for Harry Potter, and he's going to put his own twist on it, like he did in Man of Steel, hopefully. So yeah, good news.
Maybe join the Fortnite world, The Office. Maybe. Who knows? Celebrating 20 years of The Office. There's rumors that next week we may get some official looks of The Office. At least Dwight and Jim joining the Fortnite world.
They just added Quince, so you can now play with 5. So if they do The Office, I expect 5 people to be included in that package.
Right. It would be Michael Scott. It would be Pam, Jim, Dwight.
Yep. And do you think it would be what's his name there from
Ed Helms, probably.
You think it would be Ed Helms over the other guy?
Oscar. Maybe Oscar from the paper because it's promotion of the new show too. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And a whole bunch of Game of Thrones. Of course, they're promoting Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, which starts on Sunday. So a lot of stuff came out this week. We'll talk about each one individually. Very early development of a Game of Thrones spin-off sequel starring Arya Stark. This all happened because of the Jon Snow sequel falling apart and Kit Harington saying he doesn't want any part of the Game of Thrones world anymore. So they're going forward with this. Arya Stark, who I don't remember her name. She was the youngest girl in that show, ends up becoming a huge warrior at the end of the series.
Yep.
And it's going to continuation of her story. That's number 1. Number 2, you have more to talk about. This is Aegon's Quest.
Yes, Conquest.
Conquest. Developed as possible 2 different paths, either an HBO series or a Dune-sized feature film set for theaters. Talk about this a little bit and what we might be getting into.
So with this show movie, see, here's the thing about Aegon's Conquest. It's just that it's literally he goes to every single town and just burns them to the ground and makes them bend the knee. So there isn't a lot there. So I would think they would have to maybe do a whole, if they're doing the show route, they would have to at least do a couple episodes to set up the way Westeros was before Aegon gets over there. Maybe do like 6 episodes and have them not get there until the end and do like an extra season maybe. Or what I've always said, I think the best way to tell some of these stories is anthology style. So 1 season of Aegon's Conquest, 1 season of Baratheon taking the throne, maybe. Like, there's a bunch of little mini stories within this universe that don't need multiple seasons or full movies to tell their story. You could do it in anthologies type stuff, but this is really interesting too. I'm super intrigued because, as I told you, it's the co-writer of the Batman films, Mattinson Tomlin. So I'm very intrigued where they go and if this gets off the ground. I know he's still working with George on it. He did a Q&A on Twitter like a few months back, and he still talks to George about twice a week about it, which apparently isn't the case with Ryan Condal, but I'm sure we'll get there.
Ryan Condal. I have no idea about that.
You don't have that news? Okay. So since you're driving the thing, George is doing all this press for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and basically he hired Ryan to do House of the Dragon because Ryan's this huge Game of Thrones buff and like knew everything about the world and stuff. And apparently George worked very closely with him in the first season, getting notes and all this stuff, and they kind of developed it together. And then in season 2, he basically would give notes, and Ryan would say, okay, and then just not use any of the notes. And so he said, going forward, this is no longer his show, which is funny because when he was promoting the first season, he was like, this is the definitive story. So I don't know if Ryan's changing things he mapped out with George. I don't know if some of that is possibly HBO was sold in the time from the development of season 1 to season 2. So I don't know if part of that is his new bosses at Warner Brothers giving him different orders or giving him a different leash to tell the story. That could be a factor, but George doesn't. I mean, he's talking about writing the books and this, that, and the other, and how he's going to write more Dunk and Egg stories. It's like, listen, pal, at this point, just give me the second House of Blood, and I'll just headcanon how the mainline books end, because he's talking about doing more Dunk and Egg stories and this, that, and the other. And it's like, bro, finish the books.
Yeah, that was. I did have that in the notes about him talking about finishing the books and everything.
I mean, finish something before you start another thing. That's all I'm saying.
Another Fire and Blood book, basically saying that he could finish the Winds of Winter pretty soon. It's been pretty clear to me that Winds is a priority, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. That's his exact quote. Also talking about the ending of the series will be significantly different than Game of Thrones, just because some characters are dead in his book, some characters are dead in the movie.
I also
wonder
if
series.
I wonder if he scrapped a lot of it that was gonna lead to kind of where the show went because of the backlash of the show.
Maybe, yeah, and I think it sucks that show happened before he could get the book done, because now it's kind of like it's on the back burner because he doesn't give a shit. It's already been told. Yep. Just not in a great way either.
Yes.
Because fans hated it. So, got a brand new date, a brand new poster for Godzilla Minus Zero, the sequel to Godzilla Minus One.
And this one will actually get a real release in the States. I think last one was only here for like 14 days. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely went viral. A lot of people love that movie. And it will do great. I saw this on Twitter or somewhere this week. I want to talk about it. But Aladdin and Jasmine from the animated Aladdin movie, Brad came. He won. I think he went to the Oscar. They won for Best Song for A Whole New World. We all know about that, and Aladdin and all that. He is the showrunner of It Welcome to Derry. He went from singing Aladdin to It Welcome to Derry. He's also the co-creator and the showrunner, executive producer, and writer of Crystal Lake that comes out
That's why his name sounds familiar. Okay.
Yep. But I thought that was interesting that he went from there to there. He's also done. He's done writing for Fringe, Black Sails, a few other shows too.
So he stayed in the industry just behind the scenes. Good for him.
Yep, he did. Yeah. Marty Supreme coming to digital on February 3rd. And same with The Housemaid. So just in a couple weeks, we'll get both of those on the same day. Cannot wait for that. Lord of the Rings coming back to theaters for the 25th anniversary, and the whole map of Middle Earth on a popcorn bucket.
I'd like that.
That looks awesome.
I'm not the biggest Lord of the Rings fan, but I'd like that.
It looks really cool, though.
It
comes with some magnets. It's AMC. It comes with all the magnets of some cool stuff too. So yeah. Announced today a new Conjuring prequel movie, The Conjuring First Communion, will release on September 10th.
Saying there's no way they're gonna.
As we said.
Yeah, the last Conjuring. Yeah, okay. There's no way you're letting a cheaply made film that makes you a ton of money go.
It's a franchise.
You'll always make your money back. Yeah.
Yep. September 10th of 2027, that comes out, and a movie by J.J. Abrams called The Great Beyond.
He's alive.
November 13th, 2026 stars Glenn Powell, Jenna Ortega, Samuel L. Jackson, Emma McKay. I don't know who that is, but it's rumored to follow an author. A rumor to follow an author who reveals that the mythical world he's known for writing is actually real. Sounds interesting. I like JJ, some of his stuff, if he can finish the story. Speaking of JJ Abrams, the biggest news of the week, where we're going to leave off before we get into the swag of the week, Kathleen Kennedy is officially out as Star Wars.
Do you have that Ari clip from Entourage of "Get the fuck out"? Because that would be perfect to play right now.
I don't. No, I don't. But she did step down this week. Dave Filoni has been speculated for a while, and Lin-Win Brennan are set to be the new co-presidents of Lucasfilm, and that includes Star Wars, that includes Indiana Jones, all of it. And she's going to return to full-time producing. She did have a statement saying, when George Lucas asked me to take over Lucasfilm upon his retirement, I couldn't have imagined what lay ahead. Well, we couldn't have imagined it either. That's all we'll say. I'm excited to continue developing films and TV with both longtime collaborators and fresh voices who represent the future of storytelling. So she's leaving Star Wars altogether, probably going to another company.
I mean, I know we give her a lot of shit because she messed up the most important part of taking over Star Wars would be the sequel trilogy. But not for nothing. Regardless of how much she had to do with the film, she was pretty much up until Kevin Feige, the most successful producer in the history of Hollywood.
For sure.
She, without her, like, yeah, sure, she greenlit what happened with the sequel trilogy and the Solo movies, and she canceled projects she announced. But she also did greenlight things that gave us a lot of joy, like Mando and like Andor, which apparently Dave Filoni hates, so we're pretty much fucked to Star Wars fans if he doesn't like Mando. That came out right before we got on today. So we'll see where this goes. I've been writing a Star Wars article since I saw Rise of Skywalker, and I think I might actually go ahead and finish it up now and publish it with my thoughts on how everything's gone in phase 1 of Disney's acquisition. I'll just refer to it as.
Filoni is going to oversee creative, which we already knew. Brennan is going to oversee all executive duties. So they're splitting up the duties between the two of them, which is already great. Keep him on the creative.
Filoni needs to be on the creative, on the story side, and not write a single line of dialogue for anything that's live action. That man cannot write dialogue for live action to save his life.
Kathleen Kennedy had kind of an exit interview talking about projects in the Star Wars universe and what's going on with them. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse crossover, this big crossover movie that's supposed to happen, on the back burner for now. Talking about James Mangold's film. He's so busy. That movie's on hold. Incredible script, she says.
Do Swamp Thing.
Exactly. Donald Glover has turned in a script for a Lando movie. Simon Kinberg is actively working on a trilogy of films. And Dave Filoni and Lin-Win are very on board for. Taika Waititi, also busy, turning in a script that she says calls hilarious and great. And the hunt for Ben Solo, she did confirm it. Said the script is also on the back burner as well. And talked about Rian Johnson in this article as well. And how he was spooked by all the online negativity after The Last Jedi. Kind of turned him off from Star Wars for a bit. Then we kind of got that feeling.
Once he realized just how toxic, like, I'm sure when you're, like, you, as a filmmaker, like, okay, I'm a Last Jedi defender, you know that.
Yes.
But there isn't a single person on whether you love the movie, you hate the movie, you're different about the movie, that wouldn't say it didn't split the fan base. I don't think there's a single person that would deny that, because you can't deny that. I think it was a very interesting film that I think Disney got scared because what we got in The Rise of Skywalker proved that Disney is the ones that got scared, to be honest. The way that was left off with supposedly Kylo Ren probably being the bit bad, I thought that was a much better way to go as opposed to recycling stuff and whatnot. But it is what it is. Kathleen Kennedy's out. Rian Johnson's Star Wars has about the same chance of being made as the next Zack Snyder DC movie does. And that's where we're at in life right now. And I look forward to the rest of his projects because I fucking love Rian Johnson. And it hurts my soul that my least favorite movie of his is a fucking Star Wars movie.
Yeah. You definitely defend that movie more than anybody I know. I
Oh,
will
yeah.
say that. Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Got some new pop figures. We got some WWE pop figures, and we got Zeo Rangers, the Gold Ranger, which I loved. This is the end of this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers run, right before it kind of went weird. It's always weird, but it went weird for me because I grew up. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero pop figure looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Bray Wyatt one looks awesome, and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns one looks cool too.
Yep.
Got some McFarlane DC figures. We got Green Lantern, and we got the Flash Duel. We got Golden Age Flash, and we got the Flash
Nice.
when he changed into the I don't know what you call that, the all red suit. I don't know what that's called. But it looks awesome. Announced today, rumored for a while. They put a preview of it 3 months ago. But Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, the final battle with Ganon, comes with Link, comes with Zelda, comes with Ganon in his final form. Also comes with Navi, the fairy. Comes with a little Triforce emblem. It looks awesome. Got some closer look at the minifigures there. Closer look of Ganon in the final battle. Looks great. $129 in America. 1,003 pieces. Looks awesome. Also, Mondo. Love Mondo. They do a great job with animated figures, and this is no exception. Beavis and Butthead. If you're a kid of the 90s, this was on everywhere. They did a great job with these figures. I thought. Wanted to bring those
look
up.
dope.
Yep. And getting into the comic book news of the week, we got Spider-Man and Superman crossovers galore.
Can't wait.
Most notably, Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman are going to have a comic book. Dan Slott writing that. Miles Morales and Superman having a comic book done by Brian Michael Bendis. And there's some other ones you can see there. You can see Cyborg Spider-Man, Cyborg Superman, Supergirl, and
I can't wait
Spider
for
Gwen.
the Spider Noir one with Golden Age Superman. That's gonna be awesome.
It does look really awesome. Yeah. You got Steel and Thor with Hobgoblin, and there's just a lot of cool stuff here to talk about. Speaking of that, a little tease of show and tell next month. Came out on Tuesday. Finally got it. Pre-ordered it 6 months ago when it was first announced. Got the Death of Superman Absolute Edition, the direct market version, the big tombstone.
Yep.
I'm gonna show it off. Awesome. On the.
I canceled my pre-order. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't pull the trigger. It's a lot of money. For a book I already owned.
Right. I own all the books individually.
That thing is so sexy.
I was actually thinking of maybe doing an opening, like an unboxing on Facebook, but on YouTube. But we'll see. Nice. I may just do it on the show here. But yeah, Creature Commandos. James Gunn talking about that. Somebody asked him when do we get more Creature Commandos? When we're done animating the new season, which is in production now. And somebody asked him, does the new season take place before or after Peacemaker season 2? And he says after. Kind of already known that's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Mr. Miracle.
Here we go.
This is talking about it being part of the DCU now, which was not really known. Also going to be an adaptation of the 12-issue comic book series from Tom King. We do know that. But this is the first time he's talked about it actually being part of the DCU. It's going to be an animated series. And it's going to be New Gods. It's going to be Mr. Miracle and all that. So what are your thoughts on this? What's the internet speaking of this?
Well, the internet hates Tom King with a passion.
They do. That's weird.
Fuck him. I love Tom King. You love Tom King. My buddy Exo Wave loves Tom King. Those are only people's opinions I care about when it comes to Tom King. This book is absolutely fantastic.
Okay, yeah.
It's funny though, we were talking about
it. The show.
Yeah, we were talking about it in my group chat and about how like Mr. Miracle, when Jack Kirby did him, was like much more lighthearted, and then Tom King basically took him and basically made him this suicidal, depressed, like, and it of course ties the New Gods, which I believe have a big part to play in that Salvation storyline they're doing.
Right.
I believe that's the whole point of Salvation is they think they're using it as a prison where Darkseid is actually just taking all the bad people put there and making them part of his army. So yeah, we're gonna read this for the podcast. I will gladly reread it because it's one of my favorite books I've read recently.
Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it between Supergirl and whenever we get Lanterns, we'll do it like in between, right?
Yeah,
between those
yep.
two.
We'll figure that out. Yeah, that sounds good.
Damson Idris, who was in F1. I have not seen it. You saw F1, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's on Apple now.
Yeah, it's on Apple. Ask about the rumors of him playing Black Panther. We haven't really talked about it, but there's a rumor of him playing T'Challa's son, who had showed up in the end of the last Black Panther movie. There's rumors of him joining the cast of the new Black Panther as T'Challa's son. Quoted on the red carpet of the Golden Globes, he said, "I am thankful for the fans. Of course, it's rumors, but I love that movie. I love that world." It's the first time he's actually acknowledged the rumors. That would be quite a big time jump from that kid being, 10 years old, the end of that, to he's probably 25. I don't know how they're going to do that. Multiverse fuckery, I guess. But there are rumors that they're going to recast Black Panther. Probably with multiversal fuckery, of course.
Yep.
They didn't want to do it for Wakanda Forever. Understandably, that was
sense,
a
yeah.
that was a Chadwick Boseman respectful thing.
I wanted them to do it, but I know exactly why they couldn't.
Yeah.
You can't that close. I mean, unless you want to delay Black Panther 2 like 5 years and just let everything settle.
But this is exactly. I mean, we're waiting 5-6 years almost for a new Black Panther, so that's exactly the timeline.
Because they gave Ryan Coogler, rightfully so, time to do his passion project, which of course is Sinners. We'll get one more Black Panther from him, then hopefully another 20-30 years of movies like Sinners, because I love Coogler.
I'm so glad you brought up Sinners, because we're going to talk about Blade. Blade is rumored to be canceled at Marvel Studios. This has been denied a couple of times, but this week it took steam again. Rumored to be canceled, and Marvel pivoting to a Midnight Suns, which I've said from the very beginning should be what they do. But we've already got a great vampire movie that Ryan Coogler, didn't he pitch that as a Blade movie at first, and then he turned it into
rumor is that he pitched a Blade movie at one point, and the costume designer that was working on the Blade movie ended up working on Sinners. A lot of the costumes from Sinners were actually ones that were brought over from the Blade movie.
Okay. So I knew there was some sort of connection there. So we already know that. How is a vampire movie that was done so well with Sinners, how is anything going to top that? As far as a timely piece of vampire lore, something like that, how are you going to top another movie like Sinners? Unless it's Ryan Coogler. I don't know who the hell would do something like that.
Right.
And I don't know. And I think Midnight Suns may be the only way to really pivot from that. And I think that may be why Marvel's doing that.
Yeah.
Midnight Suns has pretty much Doctor Strange right in the forefront, leading the charge. It's like the Dark Avengers almost. Not the Dark Avengers, but it's like them. It's got Blade. It's got Moon Knight. It's got the Punisher. So all of these people have been in the MCU already, kind of in limbo right now. It would make sense for all of them to return in the Midnight Suns. Maybe bring in Elektra. There's some other characters that could be part of this team that have been in the MCU at some point in the last 10 years. But speaking of MCU, Wonder Man. Got the very first picture of Wonder Man in costume. There's Blade. Very first picture of Wonder Man in costume. Looks exactly comic accurate. This comes out in a couple weeks. I hope it's good. Jinx.
I hope it's good. It just doesn't seem like they have much faith in it, but this is the last project. This is the last project under the last regime that was greenlighting all these. So maybe they just want to dump it onto the service.
Because Vision Quest was the first one that they greenlit that was not part of that regime. You're right. And that was just a continuation of WandaVision. And
they're just going to dump it on the service. I'd prefer them to just honestly, with them casting, what's his name? That I can barely pronounce his name. And I love this guy as an actor.
Yeah.
Casting Yaya. It comes out late January. If they're dropping it all in one day, I would have honestly just drop it on February 1st for Black History Month. He's a fantastic actor. They do like to schedule, like, obviously the first Black Panther movie took place. Came out on February 18th. So I think that would have been a better move. I'm just upset that they don't look like they have any
faith. No faith.
No faith in the project, which is unfortunate because this guy's an excellent actor, and it looks like fun. It looks like a lot of fun.
And like everything, it seems like everything is setting up the next faction. Like you mentioned, I think on our text thread, it's like the NWO from the WCW in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's setting up a new faction, whether it's the Young Avengers, whether it's the New Avengers, whether it's the West Coast Avengers, which he's a member of, and Hawkeye and Black Panther could be a part of it because Black Panther, at the end of the first movie, started the West Coast version of Wakanda embassy and all that. There's so much story to tell there. Maybe this is the introduction to a West Coast Avengers story. Squirrel Girl would be awesome to see finally. For Great Lakes Avengers, we'll have to wait and see. Speaking of Avengers Doomsday, filmed in Greenwich, London this week, took place in the crew were wearing all 1940s style clothing. Here's a little behind the scenes of a double-decker bus, some 1940s cars being chased by constables. So it looks like, I don't know, I guess Steve Rogers going back in time, maybe part of that. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. That'd be my guess.
And Spider-Man news of the week. So Sony has reportedly been more open to sharing the Spider-Man characters with Marvel Studios. In other words, their movies failed. They don't want to make any more solo movies, no more spin-off movies. So they're kind of lightening the reins for Marvel to take charge of other characters that they kind of were holding back on, like Venom or Kraven or whatever. Olivia Wilde's Spider-Woman movie no longer moving forward. Marvel Studios has major plans for the Venom symbiote. Tom Holland's is going to be part of Tom Holland's next Spider-Man trilogy. And the other thing, I don't think I have it in the notes, Tom Hardy, not a part of it. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He did his 3 movies. He's done.
Yeah.
The new Sony Spider-Man deal, not every Spider-Man character will get a spin-off. Only Venom is planned for now. The deal lets Marvel use Spider-Man characters across the MCU. So street-level villains could appear in shows like Daredevil or movies like Black Panther. So in other words, it's not the deal where, you can use one of our characters, we use one of your characters. You can sprinkle Chameleon over here. You can put the Rhino over here. And it's an interesting way of doing it. I'm glad they kind of opened that up a little bit more. Because Sony knows that their money comes from these MCU movies. They do very well for them and brings them money. Even though they produce it and everything, they still get the money for them. So, and finally in news, the Russo brothers released the 4th and final trailer. I guess that was the final one. For all these teasers that have been teasing Avengers Doomsday for 4 weeks. And they posted on, when the last one posted on Tuesday of Black Panther and The Thing and Wakanda, they posted on Instagram, what you've been watching for the last 4 weeks are not teasers or trailers. They are stories. They are clues. Pay attention. And the internet has been like spies trying to figure out what they're trying to talk about, what they're looking for clues. And right before the clock timer goes off on these videos, there's a quick glimpse of another set of numbers, which people are thinking it's from Endgame. So they're taking those moments, an hour 24 in the first one, hour and 17 in the second one, hour and 11 on the third, an hour and 4 on the fourth video, and they're putting them into the timeline of Avengers Endgame to see what they are talking about. In the first one, which was Captain America's trailer, it's when what's her name from I can't remember her name in Tilda Swinton, but I can't remember her name in Doctor Strange, but she's showing the Hulk that millions will suffer if the multiverse gets fucked with. The second video, which is the Thor one, is them at the Avengers Tower, and they're trying to figure out a coordinated search and rescue when they arrest Loki, when they go back in time. The third video, which is the X-Men one, it's Rocket and Thor, I believe in Asgard, talking about wanting to go back into space or wanting to go back to see their friends. I can't remember exactly. But the fourth one, which came out this week, that's the one with the space one. The fourth one is Ant-Man, Rocket, and the Hulk talking about I'll take you to space. And who knows what these all mean. Internet speculating. We'll speculate. I don't even know if this is actually what the Russos were talking about as far as the evidence for clues, but we'll have to wait and see. These are going to continue to be dissected, but these are all the characters we saw in the trailers and what we've seen in post-credit scenes. We saw Doctor Doom so far. We've seen an epic X-Men trailer, which is the best one of all these. And I think with Avatar kind of at the end of their run in America, there's understandably why these lasted for 4 weeks. What's the next big Disney movie? I was trying to think of that today. I don't know what the next big, probably an animated movie in the spring, I would think.
Probably, yeah.
What's coming out. Moana. It's Moana. That's what it is. I have a feeling this is going to continue again and later on in the year. We're only a year away from Doomsday. And I would not be surprised if we get 4 more trailers during Moana or whatever the next big Disney movie is going to be to entice people to go see the rest of these trailers. The other thing, we got a new banner for Doomsday or the MCU in general, but including a lot of characters from what's going to be in Doomsday. But the big thing was the rumors for Super Bowl. We talked about that before. And there's a preliminary list going around of the trailers that are going to be premiering at the Super Bowl. Mandalorian and Grogu comes out in May. Spider-Man Brand New Day, the brand new trailer coming out on the Super Bowl. Toy Story 5, Supergirl, Project Hail Mary, and Doomsday still advertised as part of the behind the scenes of the Super Bowl commercials that are expected. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But it's going to be an interesting year, to say the least, leading up to Doomsday. We're still 12 months away, 11 months away now. It's going to be an interesting month, to say the least, a year, to say the least, of how this promotion is going to continue. Are we going to get another chair reveal with more characters like we did a year ago? I doubt it. But I could see another set of these trailers happening during another big Disney movie to promote this movie. So you have to wait and see. That's it for this week. Next week, the month picks up. Fallout Episode 6, we'll talk about that. Debuted today on Netflix, the new Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie, The Rip, came out. Gonna watch that.
I'm
gonna talk
watching
about
that tonight. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
My Friday night movie.
Night of the Seven Kingdoms debuts on Sunday. We'll talk about the premiere next week. Debuting on the 20th, 4 days from now, WWE Unreal, second season. Gonna watch that. Gonna talk about that. On the 22nd is the free Bert Kreischer show coming out on Netflix on the 22nd. And also on that day on HBO, the Mel Brooks documentary comes out. I'm gonna watch that and talk about that.
Nice.
Too. I cannot wait for that. Big busy week of
what
shows.
day does that come out?
22nd, so 6 days from now. Yeah, 6 days from now. Yep, next Thursday.
Cool.
Yeah, so excited for that. Thank you, everybody. I've had a cold all week. I'm surprised I made it an hour and 22 fucking minutes, but I did. And we'll talk to you next week, so we'll review all that stuff. Peace.
Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest news and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb, we're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom, it's our domain.